Welcome back to the garden. Today is garlic harvest day. It is July 15th. You plant garlic back in November the following year. So this November you're going to want to plant your garlic if you live in zone 6, 5, 4, 7. Those growing zones you can grow garlic very well. You're going to plant them at the start of winter. They're going to spend all winter in the ground, and then in the spring they will prop up, and in June, July, early August you're going to harvest. So what you're going to look for is the stalks turning brown and the leaves turning brown as well. So let's go get some. Here's one. The stalk is definitely turning brown, so you just grab it at the base, give it a pull, tap that out, and a nice big bulb of garlic. That actually is probably the biggest one I've ever had. So that's pretty good. We got one more over here. We're gonna yank him out as well. Another really good sized bulb. Well, hello. Hi, that's Hunter, our puppy dog. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice big cloves of garlic. Now this was garlic that I bought at a store back in October. I got it at our local store. Was nothing special. The garlic bulbs were starting to dry out, and I wasn't going to use them for cooking, so I decided to plant them in the garden to see what happened as an experiment. Hey, back off. And so something I was going to throw away produced 2, 3, 4, 5 more heads of garlic bulbs. And inside here are several types of cloves. Not types, but several cloves. It's probably up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 to 7 cloves in each one of these bulbs. I'm going to save 6 from this harvest to plant this November. More than likely one of the big ones here. So one of these 2 I will save for seed for next year. And I will definitely be using these real soon. So you just top these off, or you can braid the stalks together, hang them up in a well-ventilated area. Sorry, I had to pick that up. Let them cure or dry, and they'll be good to go. I also had another harvest of green beans today out of my little 4-foot wide, 2-foot long little section of my raised bed, which is a second really big harvest, so that'll give me 3 more Ziploc bags to put in the freezer for a grand total of 10 Ziploc bags in the freezer of green beans grown in my garden. Yeah, green beans are kind of cheap at the stores, but there's just something about growing your own, providing for yourself. What else can I talk about today? Oh, we have a watermelon finally coming on in a spot where I didn't think it was going to have any success, actually, because this little area back here gets shaded out by this tree in the mornings, so I don't get any sunlight back here until 11 o'clock in the late morning. And watermelon really needs a minimum of 8 hours of sun a day, a minimum. If you can go 12 hours a day, that's perfect. 10 to 12 is ideal. But we do have a watermelon kicking off here. Right there. And I made him a little hammock because he is on a trellis. And this type of watermelon is going to get about 5 to 6 pounds. So you're going to want to support it. There's several videos online to give you ideas about that. But I just used some row covering that I just cut. It's like a fabric that you put over your plants in the early growing season so frost doesn't get it. That's all I had available because I don't want to tear up one of my shirts or anything nylon that I have. So you use what you got, be creative. You don't have to go out and buy certain things. And this is something I already had. So I made like a little hammock for it to rest in case it gets too heavy and decides to fall off the vine. Let's see, I did a harvest of carrots just to thin them out. They were little carrots about this long, and that's fine. I like baby carrots. What was happening was I had it too thick in here, and the ones down through here were starting to die off because they weren't getting any sunlight because the rest of them were covering them over. You can see some of the dead greenery from the previous plants that were in there. I had quite a few of the little ones like this, but nothing too bad. I had a really good harvest of those. Definitely do a video on the harvest of these. I just needed to get the front ones out right away because it was really starting to cause a problem. The carrots were definitely fine after I harvested them, but I just needed to get them out. I didn't have time to grab the camera. So I'm no expert by any means. I've been gardening for a solid 6 years straight. Did some gardening when I was a kid with my parents. So I just take what I knew from them, plus things I've learned from watching YouTube videos like this one, and you just run with it. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on in my raised bed. We have carrots in the front, tomatoes in the middle, and watermelon in the back. I'm not surprised that I only have one watermelon here, but like I said, not an ideal spot. Now that I know, this is my second year growing in this location at this house. Now that I know for sure that I cannot put watermelons here, I'll definitely move them to probably up here in this trellis, which is in the front of the garden. It gets good morning sun all day long, so it'll probably be right here next year. My plan is to put another raised bed out through here, 16 feet long, 3 foot wide. If that does happen, that'll probably be where the watermelons will go for next year. Other than that, like I said, we had a second harvest of green beans here. Pests have moved in. The Japanese beetles do a number on the leaves here. And probably going to pull these out real soon and do a second planting of green beans in the same location. Not a problem doing that at all. So I can get a second harvest of green beans, or a second run of green beans in September. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.